Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to make the Sweet May daisy chain bracelet. So I have almost the entire finished bracelet here, and I'm going to actually show you on another example how to start it, how to do the daisy chain, and how to finish it. So we will end up with a finished bracelet at the end. For this project, you're going to need 3 colors of seed beads. I'm using Miyuki Round size 11-0, and the colors I've chosen are a matte cobalt, a white, this is just an opaque white, and a galvanized, this is a galvanized magenta, which is so pretty. Now I have basically finished this whole bracelet, and you can see how few seed beads I use. This is actually from these tubes, so you can make a lot of these bracelets with just these beads. I also want to let you know you're going to be using a Fireline thread for this, and it's a 0.006. For the demo here, I'm going to be using black thread because we have a white cloth, but I use the white, and you can buy any size spool that you like. It comes in a wide variety of sizes of spools, depending on how much you use with your beading. And then you're going to need a little magnetic clasp, and I love these little guys for bracelets, just real simple, but they have a nice little closed loop, which is very easy to bead onto. In terms of your tools, you just need a needle. I'm using a size 10 beading needle and a pair of scissors. And you'll just notice up here, I just have a small sampling of other of these Miyuki Round seed beads, showing that they come in galvanized, matte, opaque, color line, transparent, a lot of different choices. All right, so how do we do this? It's really fun and it's really easy. First, go ahead and spread out a little sampling of your beads. Now, daisy chain was one of the very first beading techniques I learned, and I do have a special place for it in my heart. It's just really sweet and fun and not hard. And there's a lot of variations on it. We do have another video at beadaholique.com showing a different variation on it, and that's why I wanted to do this video. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be starting with the black thread just so you can see it. So I'm not going to cut the actual amount I would for the bracelet. If you are doing the complete project, you want to start with 65 inches of your thread. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. And to begin, you're going to separate out your clasp. And you're going to put your thread through that loop and pull it so you have a tail that's about 6 inches long, because you're going to need to go back at the end and put your needle back on it. All right, so got that tail. We're just doing an overhand knot, and we're sliding it towards that clasp. And now we're going to go ahead and do another knot, and we're going to go through twice. Just like so, and pull it down, and that is our anchor point. So that is how we begin. We're going to put our needle onto our thread. Okay, and now to begin, you're going to pick up 7 seed beads of one of the colors. So you have 2 colors for the 2 flowers, and then you have a center. And in this case, I'm using white. You can use cream. You can do whatever you like. So I'm going to pick up 7 of the same color of one of the flowers. It's 5, 6, and 7. Slide it down, hold it in your hand, and go back up through 3. And I don't know if you can tell, but the magnet is actually attaching itself to my needle. You'll have to deal with that to start with, but after you get a few flowers in, you won't even notice it. So I went back up through the first 3, and it made a little loop, and it made like a little flower. So at this point, I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to pull that down towards the clasp. Now I'm going to pick up one of my center color. In my case, it's white. And I've got it on the needle. I'm just going to slide it down. And I'm going to go back up through those same 3 beads. And for this one, I'm going to position that in the center of my flower and hold it there as I pull my thread. Make sure it doesn't get stuck on any of my new little petals. And pull tight. And if you need to, pull it down towards the base again. All right, so there's one flower. Now we're going to do a second one, but in an alternating color. So again, we're going to pick up 7 beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slide them down, and then go up through 3 of them. So you make a little loop, you pull it around, you have a flower, and then you see that little gap. So if you look here, there's a little gap. That's what you want to make sure you try to have as little of as possible. You might have a little gap, but to get rid of that, you just pull it down with your finger, and now you can see we've gotten rid of that gap. But we now need a flower center, so we're going to pick up our center color again, slide it on down, pull it over so it's positioned in the middle. You can do that before or after you go through these 3 beads, whatever's easiest for you. And go back up through the same 3 beads that we just went through. And pull. And we've got our second little flower. We're going to do another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Pull that down. Go up through 3. Makes that nice little loop. So you can kind of see it here maybe a little bit better. It makes that loop. And then just scoot it down so it rests against the last one you just did. And then you're going to go ahead, take that center bead, position it in the center, and where are those 3 beads I went through originally? There they are. You always want to make sure you go up through the same beads to keep your beadwork even. All right, there we go. And I'm just going to do one more, and then I'm going to go back to my original piece and show you how to finish off the bracelet. So now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you never change your technique. This is what you do to create the entire daisy chain, whether you're making a bracelet or you're making a necklace or a wrap bracelet, whatever you might be doing. You just keep going, which is very soothing. So it's really quite a simple technique and a simple pattern, but very fun. Okay, I've got that center bead again. And you can flip your beadwork around however is most comfortable for you. Pull that center bead down. Bring it to the center. Go up through those 3 beads again. And pull. And there you go. Now these will flop around a little bit, which I think is very playful and fun, but we've just done 4 little flowers, and you'll just continue doing that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the sample I already started, and I've done all the little daisies that I want for my bracelet. I'll show you what that looks like on. So real sweet little bracelet. So to finish it off, you're going to pick up the other half of your clasp. So you see that that was its matched pair right there. Going to go through the loop, pull it on down, and now you want to tie it. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can just tie it like this, make a little knot, or what I want to do, what I find a little bit easier for this last step, is to go through my seed bead, which my thread is coming out of, and pull it down, and then make a little loop and go through it. And your needle will stick to your magnet. It just happens. I don't think there's a way to avoid it. But there we go. And tie that. And that gives you a little thread bridge to go under. Through again. And pull it nice and tight. And then I'm going to go through it again, try to get that magnet to stop grabbing my needle. And once, and twice. Pull it down. And then what I like to do, let go, is I like to go down through some beads next to it and pull. And I'm going to work my way into my beadwork a little bit here. And when I see a good spot, like I see coming up here where I can see kind of an exposed little thread bridge, I'm going to tie another knot. Just giving it that added measure of security. Tie a couple knots if you want to. And then go up through a couple more beads. And then trim it with your scissors. And the magnet will stick to your scissors too. And trim it. All right, so that is now done. And what I did to finish off the other side was I simply took the tail that was sticking out here, put my needle back on it, and did the exact same thing that you just saw here. I just wove it back into my beadwork and tied a couple little knots. And that is all there is to it to make the Sweet May daisy chain bracelet. And if you see how it clasps, I think it's really comfortable, really nice. And it'd be great to stack other bracelets with. That's still a really popular trend. You can see a lot of people layering bracelets, and this is a really nice little thin bracelet to do that with. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please check out all our other videos on both YouTube and beadaholique.com.